Moon comes up, the sun comes down, there is no one left around. She walks into a room and stops the clock. Hair of gold, her eyes so rare, she raises an eyebrow to a stare. She can hypnotize you when she talks. Gonna give her everything, she grab my heart, she makes me sing. She fill my brain, she rocks my world. I got by the nightlife girl, yeah. Little 90s, yeah. Sure.
That was awesome.
Well, thank you.
I love that.
We're live from my bedroom on location.
Well, technically, it's my bedroom.
Ooh. Well, I'm going to get more hits on this show
technically
than I ever planned.
Because I think I spend more time in my office, which is where we are, than I do in my actual bedroom at home. So, yes.
Since it's the theater of the mind, you didn't have to give it up that quickly. You could have let the kids at home with the illusion that we're in your actually boudoir and doing boudoir-type stuff. But no.
That could happen here. That could happen here. Anything happen. Anything goes.
Nope. She went with no. So I am here live. This is the, I'm calling it the season ender. You're like, everyone has to do like a sweeps week, but I got no sweeps. I don't even think I've cleaned up after myself ever since the last show. But in general, there's no, I'm trying to do better this week than last week, other than I wanted to say that this piece of my life was talking to people who made something out of nothing and produced something that they loved, and they're basically motivated by what it is that they're doing. It's their life is what they do, they is what they are. And everybody I talked to, that was the deal. And also I had to record it in a place where I would sleep because it's live from my bedroom on location.
Nice. I'm a little disappointed though, Adam. Just a little. Okay, I'm lying.
Are you jumping right to that?
I am, because I'm looking at you, and as I'm
looking at you, I'm growing more and more disappointed.
And I was hoping your kids would be interviewing me. That was, we're going to order pizza, and we're going to, do an interview with your kids, and they were going to ask me questions. I was so looking forward to that.
Well, you should still be looking forward to that because of the art of editing.
Yes.
That's still going to take place.
Oh, yeah, no. What I would prefer is, how about next season? I'll come back.
Yeah, but next season it's about performers on the road.
Okay. Well,
performers on the road.
I still miss your kids. I want them to interview me.
Well, as I say, they're
going
to.
Okay, why don't we just call them?
Okay, put down the phone.
No, can we call them?
Well, no, of course we can. We're not morons. We're capable, and that's the sound of a phone being dialed. So, at this point in the show, I'm about to tell you that's why I started with the show live from my bedroom on location.
Can we do this? Is your wife going to get upset?
I don't know. She's been sick for the last...
and so your kids. This is very...
Well, we're not going to tell the sick story. We're just going to say she's not feeling well. Yeah, it might work. This actually might work, but I'm not
I don't know. Sure. It's ringing. It's ringing.
It is ringing. But I would think that I would want to plug it into the board if I could.
Hi, is this Heather? Yeah. Hi, Heather. It's Melissa. I'm here with Adam. You're live from where? Someone's bedroom?
Yeah, well, don't say too loud. That says my wife on the phone.
So, listen, I'm calling because I thought that your kids would be interviewing me. Not that I don't mind Adam interviewing me. So, I was just calling to say, hey, I was looking forward to your kids interviewing me. I know.
They were supposed to, but you know what?
Yeah, can they ask me one question so I feel like, I feel good about this?
How many questions did you think there was?
I don't know, just even one. Then I feel like...
Even one. Just one. Well, I can tell you that this is its own sense of ridiculous. But thank you very much. So I gave you no credits whatsoever, and now my kids are going to be trying...
Okay.
Right? This is fantastic. So this is why you do this type of stuff. And I also stopped live streaming the show.
It's going to be cut out because...
No, well, not in general.
All right.
What's happening here is the live content of... These are the creative conversations that I have with you on a daily...
Yes, which I love, which makes life so much more fun and interesting and work. This is why we do what we do. And that's why I love working with you all these years and the rest of the team. So, which is good. And so do I tap dance now while your kids they're probably in bed, and this is really... Oh, okay.
This is all just very weird. Did you have a headset on that phone? Is there like a plug on the side as a mini plug?
Yeah, there is a plug of sorts. Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, we're gonna try and technically.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean,
They can hear. They can hear. This is good.
This is the live.
Okay, so Adam is getting another plug or cord because he's a professional to make sure that everyone sounds good. Okay, so Sammy's gonna ask me the first question.
No, well, I would go in some kind of complete order. I mean,
Okay.
What you got was.
Okay, one sec. I think
That
we're.
sounds really loud, actually.
Okay, so I think we
I
got
don't
it.
have a headset on. I'm just saying it sounds really
Okay,
loud.
it sounds good to
It
me.
does sound good to me too.
Okay,
So
I think we're just gonna try and.
we're gonna try to make this actually happen through your headset, so you should be all like, "Oh, I can
Okay.
do that. That makes sense."
All right, so you make sure you can hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see how this works out for us. As an out to an in. That's a mini plug, is it not?
Yeah.
No, it isn't a mini
Oh,
plug.
it isn't?
No.
Wait, give it to me. Let me
No,
see.
it didn't fit.
Oh.
That's the mini plug. Wow. That's what you get live.
Oh, sorry.
from my bed-
Oh, I think I screwed up the phone. Okay, we'll just do it this way. Hi, is this Sammy?
What was that? What was that?
I said hi, it's Ben.
Oh, hey Ben, how you doing? I was really looking forward to you interviewing me. I'm here with your dad.
She is.
So I was hoping, I know you're at home, you're not feeling well, but I was really looking forward to it. So do you have one question for me? So I'll feel really good about this.
Okay, Melissa. This is my son. You got to treat him with the same respect you give me.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, work with that.
Okay.
Okay, Ben. Did you know what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on the air. Go ahead, try it.
Okay. So, you're the main character of Out There with Melissa DiMarco. You're my dad's boss. So what up?
Aha, that's a good question. Yes, that is correct. The show, I work with your dad, and actually I like to think of it as not someone's boss, but we work together. And Adam has been with the show since day one, since the pilot. So for me, it just feels like more of a teamwork than being people's boss, though technically I am. And I do wear a lot of hats, but so does Adam. And that's one of the best things about the show is that everyone gets to wear more than one hat and do more than one thing. And it's pretty exciting. And sometimes we have different people on set, like you and your brothers came on and PA'd. Oh, wait, I think legally I'm not supposed to let them PA. But anyway.
Don't worry. But he did get a special thanks throughout his whole career.
Yes.
The first 2 seasons of the show. It says special thanks to Benjamin Powell. Ben, did you know that you're in the credits of Melissa's show for the first 2 years?
I think so.
Well, I just don't show all that energy, being so excited. All right, so that was his question.
That was a great question.
Is your other brother? And I have 3, as you met all 3 of them.
Yeah, that was a great.
And I'm now oldest.
I'm
Second
excited.
Oldest.
That was a great
Yeah,
question.
like, I'm so happy. This is how getting to the second floor works in life. You know what I mean? Like, I was here to just disappoint you. Oh wait, here we go.
Hi.
Hi, Dad.
Okay, Samson, it's your turn. Give it up. What's your first question?
My first question is, what's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do. Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
This is a PG show.
Okay.
All right.
I really like my job, and my job seems like so much fun when I'm doing it. So I really like to work. That's true. That's my character on the show, and that's what I love to do. But I love to go see movies for fun, not for work. Most of the times I'm seeing a movie, I have to have a notepad and a pen and take notes and questions I'm going to ask a celebrity. But it's really nice to go out on a Saturday night and just see a movie without having to think about anything. And I love to dance. I love to go and dance. It can be anywhere, which is, yeah, anywhere there's music, I might just get up and dance. So those are like the 3 things I like to do. What about you? What do you like to do?
She knows. That's not what goes down.
What?
No,
I can ask a question back.
That's not how this goes.
Conversation.
Well, it is conversation, but this is the part of the show where I have no idea how this happens. But they're asking you stuff, so
Okay.
I can cut that together.
All right. Okay.
If you want to know what they think,
Last question. Okay. What's your favorite thing to eat?
To eat. Oh, well, I love potatoes. I'm a potato girl. I like them any which way. So I like potatoes, and I like ice cream, and I like chocolate. But I don't eat chocolate because it makes me really hyper. See, I feel like asking, but what about you? What do you like? See?
No, that's
See,
why you
this
do
is
what you
why
do. Yeah.
I care. Like, it's hard for me to.
Peanut butter.
Huh? Actually, well, it is. I can say this. I like pickles and peanut butter. That's like my favorite when I'm alone and I'm watching TV at home. Sounds kind of depressing, but it's not. And I like pickles and peanut butter. Have you tried it?
No.
It's really good. Try it.
Okay, no more pickles and peanut butter. Last kid.
All right.
Now, see, that you should take that for what it is. Last kid. Pardon?
Candy, I have 4 questions.
You have 4. Wow.
What do you think this is? Passover?
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
What's your favorite number?
I have 2 favorite numbers, 4 and 8.
Okay, what's your favorite song?
Oh, my favorite song. I have a lot of songs that I really like. There isn't one that's my favorite, but at this very moment, my favorite song is The Nightlife Girl.
Oh, you know what? That's a good answer. That's someone who wants to get promoted.
Last one, how old are you?
No.
Oh, see, this now, how old are you? You're 6. Okay, see, I'm an actor, and we normally don't ask that kind of question to actors because we won't answer. But you know what? I'm a little bit older than you. Just a little bit.
Wow. That is great. You got cajones. my
Hey,
friend.
those are great questions. Your kids are hired, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
If I can legally hire them, I don't think I can at this point. But,
No,
you know.
I don't think you can work with children ever again.
From all the boys.
All right. Thank you so much, Heather. Thanks to the guys. Thank you for making my night. That was so much fun. Thank you.
I hope you're all feeling better.
Yes. Get better. Sorry to bother you while you're resting. Vitamin C. Vitamin C. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
That's so funny. I can't wait to see if this actually works.
I
At
don't
the grand
know.
scheme of life, when I play it back, it might be too low. I might have to beep it up. But again, I'm just going to cut them out.
I think I repeated the question, so I think they're all good.
Yeah,
I
that's-
might have.
you know, that's-
But see, you know what's really weird is
What?
I had to stop myself from not asking them questions because I really want to know more about other people. So it was kind of
No,
hard
that's
for
not
me.
true. What?
I
No,
do,
no.
but-
As you
Okay, then what is it?
you just want them to stop asking you questions.
Probably.
No, that's it.
I feel uncomfortable
no, let's
answering
stop
questions.
that.
That's true.
But truly,
Probably.
let's find out about you because learning about me won't help me.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you? Because not only is that going to be interesting, because I'm asking a question,
Right.
Yeah, and normally you're capable of formulating a pretty good question. In general, the questions, because in your business,
But I really want to know what his favorite color was. I actually do.
she's not going to sleep tonight. What is his
You know what?
favorite
Thank you
color?
for letting me call your family.
Yeah, no.
Your number's on speed dial because I call you all the time for work. So it was nice to do this for a non-work reason.
Right. Yeah, Sammy's favorite color is green.
Is it green?
It is.
Nice.
I
nice.
know my children's
I
favorite
like
colors. Yeah, I like that. I know, and that's too bad that I couldn't do a little technical hookup because that would have been fun.
I think that was a little impromptu on my end.
No, I love impromptu. I wish I could have helped like a good producer because a good producer likes to facilitate the people around them. At least that's what
But you
my
know
mentor
what?
told
We
me.
like to do things guerrilla style, don't we? We just like to do it and just be spontaneous, and that's fun.
I think that's what happens when the shark doesn't show up.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, you're constantly hiring a Steven Spielberg, someone who's there to do the job of 10 men, and he's going to be a genius creatively. But then the shark doesn't show up, and then you're just like, well, I'm still going to make a movie about whatever the movie was supposed to be about without the main character.
And I think just like in his case, with us, the same thing happens. It ends up being like better that way. It ends up being better that way.
It's better because of the spontaneity that you get from the impromptu
Right.
and the improv where you get the actor to actually bring why you wanted that actor to be a part of your stuff. We're talking now as producers and director, I guess. But that's not, again, why... Well, you're here because you get to do what you like to do. And in general, that's kind of a hard... It's nice that you're capable of doing it. And so all the things that you do, what the kids ask you a question, but the question was, what do you like to do? But what I want to know is, like, out of all the hats that you wear.
At work, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one reason why I like what I do is because I get to wear all those hats. Because a side of me, loves the acting because that's kind of where I started in the business. But I don't think I'd be as fulfilled if I wasn't able to create and produce. And then I also have a side of me that likes business and legals and all that kind of stuff. And that's an executive producer. So, and I like to write. So this job allows me to be an actor, writer, producer, and executive producer, which is unheard of, I know, to have it all under the same umbrella for the same show and the same company. But I realized that allowed me the opportunity to do everything that I love to do.
No, that's a good answer. And that's why you're doing what you do. And so anybody who wants to do what they do, you have to be able to wear all those hats, learn from the ground up. I guess you can't start at the top. So.
Right. And like, we said before is, early on.
You grab coffee for someone at some point on a studio floor.
Yes, I do.
And you still do, actually.
Yes, I still do, actually.
When you run your own production, you will be, because anyone need a coffee is out of your mouth. That's true. And I'm not belittling that point, but understanding that because the coffee needs to be got, and it's not a belittling job, it's just a job that needs to happen to get the job done.
Yes, exactly. And I enjoy all those facets. Is it stressful? For sure. Does it mean I don't sleep much? Yes. Does it mean there's a lot of weight on my shoulders? And of course. And I think about everybody all the time that works for me. I think about all those people. And so, yeah, there is a lot of weight on my shoulders, but it's balanced with kind of enjoying what I do.
Right. And so if you have a nugget for someone who's just a new up-and-comer, I'm gonna go with the producer hat, executive producer hat, because that's the realm that I have, not the answer. Mm-hmm. What would be the little tidbit that you would say, you know what? Like right now, if someone came to me and said, I want to start producing my own show, my next answer would be, you might want to get a lawyer.
Right. Yeah.
You learn a pitfall. You have a pitfall, and you're like, man, I really should have got a lawyer.
I think that it's at a certain stage, legal counsel is really important because there are so many things I learned along the way, and there really is that aspect that it is, like we talked before, about the business in the show business, right? And it is a lot of business. So I think the advice I would give someone who wants to be a producer is, if it's the first thing you're producing, it should be something you're passionate about. Unless you need a paycheck and you're working for someone else. But if you're doing it yourself, pick a subject matter, pick something that you really, really love, and that'll just make it so much easier to produce, because the initial projects are not going to bring a lot of money in, and you do it for passion. If they bring any money at all, right? So.
No, okay, so passion project. This is what you're saying.
You have to really, if there's two types of producers, there's the creative producer, and there is what I like to call the business producer, or the more technical producer. And sometimes they're the same person, and sometimes they share hats, and sometimes they don't. But if you're one or the other, then go to your strengths and either team up with someone else or slowly learn the ropes of the other thing. But the thing I say that is the easiest to do is pick something that a subject matter or that you're really passionate about. It'll make it so much easier.
Okay. So that's kind of getting the professional idea out of the way. And again, not that I think I'm doing a job that you do professionally, which is interviewing people. That's not what I'm doing here.
We're having conversations.
We're having a conversation that later I'm going to listen to yet again. I'm asking questions, and the interaction with my kids. It becomes part of your day. It becomes my assets, things that have become part of my content. And I'm learning about myself.
Except you didn't ask me to sign a talent release form.
No, nothing like that. Because this will never see this will never see the light. That's why you need a lawyer.
Exactly.
That's why you need a lawyer.
That's the executive producer talking right now, Adam.
Yeah, that's not stupid.
You need people to sign a talent release
You
form.
would think that's true, but you're not here actually as anything other than you.
I know, but technically.
You see?
Here we go.
You see? And this is how you lose. All of it's gone now. Everything I ever thought I had.
I think this is not the season closer. It's the only episode in the season if I sign a talent release form, because everyone else didn't. So
you know what? That might even be just a fun day. Who can sue me online? Well, how much have you made? Well, nothing. Let's see how that works. Let's look at the board. Well, you can get part of my nothing.
There you go.
You might want to. So there you go. No. But that's a good one. No, that's good.
A good one.
No, that's a good one. Like, I'm so happy that I started by saying I need a lawyer,
and
again, it's been confirmed that if you want to do something and make it for money, and you're trying to make a profit. Again, this isn't for profit. This is for the...
But I even think if it's not for profit initially, because initially, even when I started, there's no expectation of making money. You just want to get experience. You should always think of it like a business, because it'll just train you well, so that when the time comes, you've already thought about things versus waiting for that big job and go, oops, I forgot those little things. Sometimes my mind thinks too much about that, just like I was just joking right now. But
no, I don't think so.
But I was quite serious. As a friend and coworker, you should have people sign things.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Can you sign your life away? Yeah. So I'll be just getting some whiteout and some out there documents.
That's right.
Oh wow. Anyway, I'm having fun. I think that's most of the point. But I think this is a good time to have that happen at the end.
Sorry.
No, because everything else makes more sense for season 3, which will be the only one you'll be able to listen to after today. That's funny. Funny in a That's the reason I'm doing this. No, I'm being serious. Like, you could tell me 100 times a day, you need a lawyer. I even said it. I need a lawyer. Right. And then here it was, you really should have documentation of the lawyer. And it's only when I put the headset on, and I'm in a different frame of mind. I've done something for myself that's allowing me to actually focus and concentrate higher than I've ever been able to. I'm very aware of myself and surroundings, but now it's making me understand what it is that I'm saying, and it's affecting me. Like, it's actually skipping. Like quitting, like Boris, the incredible Boris, the hypnotist. We spoke about you, and he'd been on your show several times, and we promote each other in the city of Toronto. He was, when I was talking to him about, I think I've lost my train of thought because I really need a lawyer.
Also should be on speed dial. No. Sorry.
No, it's good, but now I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I didn't plan on sweating. But having the my social problems that make it so I don't concentrate. Listening to it back has actually made my social life with the people who I work with, interact with, as well as my home life better.
I love Boris, by the way. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's still out there doing it. I think he just did a TED Talks. He was
on your show, and yep. I met him through you and Comedy Wood. And he impressed me so much when I saw him do his stage show, and he's been on our show various times. And I like repeat business. I like people that come back on because they're amazing, and he's so talented. But it matters to me that the people that I work with are just like great people, and he's one of those guys. Besides being talented, and he's a really talented performer and businessman, but also just a super nice guy.
Yeah, I need to get some forms, and then.
Okay, folks, we've just lost Adam Powell. I should have not brought the legals up at this point.
No, that was
but
good.
You know what? Listen,
no, that was good.
I mean,
that's
Javon,
the point.
There's someone here in the office. I can get him to print some out for you, and I'm not kidding.
But then she's gonna she'll change a thing that makes it so she's a part owner as an executive producer.
Right, but I'm gonna make another suggestion, which I'll make off the air for you as well. See, I can't help myself.
No, that's good. No, it really is good. Like, I can't even explain. That's actually the whole point of this. I keep missing little baby steps in my life, and I had to get some kind of focus. And I said, if I'm going to do this for myself, I might as well let other people hear it as well. So that's what's happening, and I've put it out there at my own expense to say. And so anytime, as you taught me about a marriage, when you're trying to get good cross promotions, anytime I have an idea. So this one was about, honestly, which is the best part about this, is that this is sponsored by a lawyer. He is technically involved, but has...
Is this Hart's?
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
That's great.
Right. So so I should get a lawyer.
Hart, what's really weird about this is you know many lawyers. I think you should contact them. You should contact Hart's and...
No, this is great. So Hart, at the end of this, you're going to hear your phone ring. Like, when I air this... You will hear your phone.
You know what?
ring.
I'm this close to calling him right now.
Just calling Hart?
But you know what? I'm not going to. We'll just.
This would be officially the first call-in show. That's what you've created.
I don't know. I just feel like calling people. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Crank calling. Let's crank call someone.
Oh, my Lord.
Heavy breathing.
Well, moving forward, so our history of how we know each other, and anyone who's listened to the cast now knows that you're... so who did I talk to first? Would be Ron, and Ron was talking about how you were one of the only journalists in the entertainment industry, or in the broadcast, that would allow newer type entertainers to hit the airwaves. And so he was talking in high regard of you then. I'm sure you heard it. But
Ron Camilleri has been part of my life for a very long time. He actually wrote music. The first thing he did was he wrote music for Dream Seeker, which is this biography that I did on Nia Vardalos, and he did an incredible theme song for that. And we just clicked after that. And it just he made me very inspired to bring in himself and new talent to television when I had the opportunity. But he also believed in me. And I really appreciated that, because had he not believed in me, I wouldn't have been able to do what I was able to do in the beginning. So, and he's been with me like you and like Philip Dixon, also known as Flip, and a bunch of other people, but those are the core.
That's Beatbox Canada. I think that's how I advertised him. I didn't even.
Oh yes, yeah. He's
Beatbox Canada.
Beatbox Canada, but he was also part of the pilot and started on the show as an intern, and that's what I love about about what happens here is it doesn't really matter whether you're an intern, whether you've been in the business a long time. Like Ron has been in the music business forever, and
they know he told the story.
So bringing all these people together, and you've been in the business forever, and bringing all these people together is really exciting because you never know what's going to happen. So Ron was really great in the beginning, and what's the best part is we're celebrating. Well, I've been with Ron longer than 10 years. The show's been on for 10 years, but
he talked about how you met Dream Seekers, and you were looking for music for Dream Seekers.
And I don't think he knows this story, that I asked him to write a couple of little pieces, and I would play it in my car, like this one piece that he did, and I envisioned it as the theme song, and I played it like to death. And I started to visualize how I was going to do the opening, like how I'd have some old video of some celebrity that would turn into a picture and this whole thing. And his song inspired me so much that that's how I built the opening of that show. The same thing happened with the Out There theme song. I was in New York City. I was shooting some stuff on the streets, or my camera guy was, and Ron wrote something, and it just inspired me on how I was going to edit it and put it together. So his music does inspire me to create certain things, or as you know, when we're in editing, edit things a certain way. And the same thing when we bring in
with Ron. Yeah. Well, you're my muse, and I'm sure it was 1998. So that's got to be back in that's when we met. So
yeah,
98.
And you were on Nightlife, the show that I did before that.
Yes,
and you were naked sometimes.
I was naked.
Yes,
most of the time. Can I throw that out there?
Yeah, mostly naked. But you know what's really weird is I would find you on the streets naked, and you had no idea. No, I'm kidding. That we were going to be shooting. You were just naked.
I would know. Yeah. Well, that was part of the sales bitch. But because when you first told me you were going to start the show in '98, I wrote the song I just sang for you.
It's awesome.
I wrote that then, but I didn't. It took 5 minutes. I walked up a mountain in the Mojave Desert. The song came to me.
It's awesome.
I came down and I talked to my band and I said, "This is the song," and then they played it, and then I sang it, and I'm like, "Well, there you go."
It gives me goosebumps when I hear it because it does bring me back to those times and I go, "Wow, that is so cool! I love that song." And
I played it on the air for you.
And
I don't think I signed anything.
Can you turn it to the Out There girl now? Or the Nightlife girl is the Out There girl, so there you go. It still works. I'm still out there at night.
Streetwalker girl. That changes
girl.
the story.
It's a different kind of business. But no, it just brings me back
I think you do well. Just throwing it out there. If I could. I'm not saying you have so many things to fall back onto. I'm just saying that would be a good one. Part of the show is supposed to be funny, but not funny, funny just because it is.
Right.
Yeah, I don't go out of my way to be funny, but there's some things that aren't funny. Like you telling me about your life, I'm not too sure how that becomes funny unless you turn it into bits and stories like you do like on the Johnny Carson show. Like you're saying, well, what's a funny story they could tell me? So it would incorporate they're an actor, they're this, they're that.
But usually that kind of stuff, they do a pre-screening on those shows, right? Where they ask you things in advance, and a lot of funny people have little shticky things they come up with before.
Do the writers come through? Like when you were on like shows like the Mike Bullard show, did someone come back front and go, so how do we pep up your stuff? No,
they give you a pre-call and they ask you a bunch of questions, and then they try to figure out what's a funny story that you want to talk about that they think is funny. And this, when you're on, these are the 3 or 4 things that Mike might ask you based on the funny stuff you just told me. So yes, it is a little bit of prep. Unlike Out There, where I just love to get someone to sit in the hot seat and just talk and have fun, just like you do here. And I don't have any expectations. I don't know where it's going to go. Yeah. And I just listen well and see whatever happens. So yeah.
No, but you had no. See, it's different because you have a whack of research on those people. So when they say something,
it's never right. No, it's usually wrong.
And if for the staff who are listening, learn from that.
Because first off, the internet, as great as it is, things are outdated, and we run fast and furious on the show, and yes, and sometimes the information, once it trickles down to me or up, whichever way you look at it, it's wrong. And I'm like, and that's half the fun, because if it was right, it'd be boring. It would be boring.
The shark would show up.
Exactly. All right.
Could you imagine what Jaws would have been if this mechanical crappy shark was actually there and Steven actually had to use it? It's not even the whole movie. Actually, it's not even the right movie.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So we just like laughing at our own things.
I would
actually. That's a funny thing. Adam and I, we work together until like 2 a.m. sometimes here.
That's right, ladies.
And that's right.
I don't know who I'm talking to.
He's other than my bedroom at 2 a.m., which is my office.
No, right now so that's what I said. It is a qualifier that I am willing to sleep here. Like
Yes.
we would sleep into this office. I don't. I actually did. Right, because that last episode.
Well, actually, and
that last episode was a couple of extra
crazy.
hours,
and Adam,
because we had great actors that were called to the call of duty. That I now change things. You know how they say you don't work with kids, you don't work with animals,
you don't work with family.
relatives. Yeah, you don't work with relatives unless you got an extra 4 hours per shot.
Yes, no, because my mom and
they're
dad.
Gonna feed you. They're going to
Yes.
feed you. I tell the craft service people or your mom that you're not allowed to feed anybody until 6 hours of work.
She can't help herself, Adam.
6 hours of work.
She can't help herself. This is the thing. My mom is like that.
How about the 4 hour for the substantial? She goes, "You want subs?" And I go, "You know what? I wouldn't mind a sub."
She's like, my mom, she's always making sure people are fed. That was the cheapest craft service shoot I've ever done because
you didn't
pay a dime for the food. My mom, but the
we
crew
were
was
in her
eating
kitchen
every 2 hours, so it was like I have no crew every 2 hours. She's feeding them.
Yeah, that's not good.
I know.
She didn't know we're helping, and now we're shooting till 5 a.m. She's like, "Why are we here so late?" I'll give you a hint about the food.
Keep feeding it, and you can't just eat on the run. You have to sit there, eat, have a glass of wine, and talk. It's like
I wish
bad.
what you were saying right now was a joke.
It's
but
not.
Could you imagine trying to shoot the Family Jewel, and everyone's like, and they're like Jewish people. Like she's not Jewish, right? The blonde lady on that show. He is. He's a Yiddishite, but she isn't.
I don't. Maybe by.
No, he is.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's an Israeli guy, but no, she isn't. But could you imagine if she was like with the crew the whole time? Just no, eat something. We really have to film a show. No, eat something.
Yes,
And that was.
That's my mom.
She was awesome. I don't eat veal, and I found
And
myself.
you still feel guilty about this. My
I
mom
can't
asks me. She
stop.
calls me the day before. She always calls me the day before we do a shoot, saying, "Oh, what does everyone want to eat?" She knows that someone on my show is a vegetarian, and that kind of stuff. So she asks, "Oh, Adam likes meat. He doesn't like pasta unless it's white."
What a weird thing to say about someone. Adam likes meat.
And so I don't know. She's Italian. She made veal. She didn't think when you say you like meat I don't know. She doesn't know. So she made veal and made you feel guilty.
She made a lot of veal.
Like
we
a
showed
lot.
up at 9 o'clock at night.
And she
there's
didn't
a
care
lot of veal.
if someone else didn't eat it. She just cared that she wanted you to eat it, or she was disappointed.
So you're just
that
telling the story that everyone around the table said, "I'm sorry, I don't eat veal." Okay, Adam, would you like some? No, I don't eat veal. Why?
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean, why?
That's
you
the
didn't
story.
bust her chops.
A bit, because
Anyway,
my
I just
mom's
want to
known you
thank her
forever.
again. I know, and she's a great lady, and she did really well in the last episode. For those who have biography, you got to see, every episode's getting better in its own right of how we're putting it together.
It's so exciting when we get to see it all come together on the screen, and it'll be on City next year. It'll air on City as well.
But you don't have a date that you're going to stick
Not
to.
yet.
Right now.
No, don't have a date for it
I
yet.
can tell you, some people are nervous. Some people who really, really like your show are very, very nervous about how the people who are making you national are also supportive of hockey. Like they're hockey for 8 months out of the year.
Well, it usually actually it fits well with us because by the time hockey is over, our show airs. So it's kind of around. That's how it happened last year. Even though they didn't have hockey last year, so it's kind of a good fit. We were a spring show, and hockey ends, late spring.
Yeah, May.
Yeah, and we aired last year, end of April.
Right.
So roughly.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm happy that we're on the Out TV. We're also on the biography that just happened.
And on City
and then
as
Fox.
well.
City coming.
And then Fox during TIFF.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wanted to add, the thing that we do is we laugh at each other's jokes at 2 a.m. So we sometimes wonder if we're funny at 2 a.m. because
we're hilarious.
Well, to each other we are, but
No.
we don't know if it's going to translate on the screen, but then it does.
No, listen, you becoming a pirate with your panties on your head. These stories can only happen at 2 o'clock.
That's true. That's true. And then I fall asleep for an hour, and then Adam's in editing, creating some magic that, like, surprising me with some stuff that I didn't expect would be on the air because, I'm asleep for the hour.
That's true. I don't want to tell you what these things are because I think those would be great contests.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And speaking of contests, you said that you wanted to actually. I've never done any contests on the show, so it would be considered like a call to action, meaning someone listened this long.
Yeah, but how long have we been talking? Because by this point, I don't know if anyone's going to be listening.
No, that's the best part. No, see, those who or then they walk the walk. They're following.
Right.
Now they get something.
Okay, it's
Right.
like
So
an Easter egg.
right. So right. This is the Easter egg for those who got this far.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Right. So
Drum roll.
No, right. So if you got to this
Probably off
this
key.
part, right? So I have we can either promote some form of email or website.
Yes.
But I'm not too sure how to get it to make it sure that.
I was just about to tell everyone my personal email. That would have been bad.
Yeah,
I
don't
was
do that.
just about.
But maybe we should call it Easter egg. That's
Okay.
actually the word. You put Easter egg in the body or in the subject Easter egg. The subject is Easter egg, and this is the Pomcast Network. And if you sent it to Pomcast Network at outlook.com, I would get it.
And if you send it to outtherewithmelissa.com and you go to contact us, that's our website. Just contact us or ask Melissa at outtheretv.net. It'll show up there. Just go to our website. And if you put the magic word Easter egg,
right. So
then what do we give away? Okay, I know.
It's got it. No. See, I don't care what it is. It's got to be mailable. That's all I know.
Okay, watch this. Watch. Ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear that? That's the Out There pen. They're awesome.
Uh-oh.
They're awesome.
I think we just told you what you may or may not be involved with. So guess what, kids? I'm paying for the postage. Do yourself a favor. Send us the email. I want to see who out there has listened to this far. You deserve. Pat yourself on the back. Send us an email. And then it's going to be online for forever and for always. But then I'm moving on to season 3, of course, to a whole other idea. But on this...
What's your new idea?
What?
What's the new idea?
I got to get a lawyer first.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. First, I'm going to get a lawyer.
And then I have something else I'm going to tell you that you need.
Yeah, and then I'll be promoting that. Mm-hmm. But all this has been made under the Glass Ceiling Productions. There's an actual company that is producing and bought the stuff.
Is it a sole proprietorship or incorporated?
It's right.
Okay.
It's a sole proprietorship.
Oh, good.
There's no reason for it to be
good.
incorporated. I'm not paying money.
So, you know what I'd like to talk about?
It's just to the end of the contest, because it is an actual contest. No one actually has to buy anything to be involved, because we're calling it a contest.
Oh, look at you, lawyer.
No, it's well, I just want to make sure that you understand that it is running for the week. So on next Sunday, that's when I'll call you for the emails.
Right?
I'll get the emails,
and then okay. But how long? We can talk forever. That's the other sad thing about us. We'll talk forever. Like, how long have we been talking?
That's another reason I like me some Italian people. How do you say hello in Italian? By the way, that's awesome. That's kind of my point, because Jewish people, the same word for hello is goodbye.
Yeah, ciao is the same word for hello as goodbye.
That can't be right.
It's true. It's true.
But if it is right, hilarious.
It's true.
Oh, then let me just finish my story, which is the Jewish people don't know that when they arrive, they're actually saying goodbye.
Really?
That's how long it takes for Jewish people to say goodbye.
Right.
It's 7.5 hours.
Yeah, that's about right
they
in my
come in
family.
To say, see you later. By the way, one last thing. We're having dinner? Good. And that's how...
Yes.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Jewish people will stand in a hallway...
You know, my Italian's not that great, but I'm pretty sure that ciao means hello and goodbye. That much I could tell you.
When you send us this email that says Easter egg, and then underneath it says pen, please send me one. What Italian? Ciao? Is that right?
Ciao.
Yeah.
It's CIAO.
Oh, right. I totally would have spelled that like the dog or eating.
What?
Ciao.
Wow.
That rhymes with wow. We're making stuff happen.
Do you remember the pilot episode? Do you remember how that came together?
You're talking about Dean Cain?
Yeah.
Now,
that was
Dean
hilarious.
Cain, what I love about Dean Cain is that when I think about Dean Cain, I see Flip, and Flip is a very, very young boy. Not a man, not even close to being a man.
Well,
he's a kid in high school.
That's a great story on this business, and maybe sometimes I need to have more filters. But it was really nice that I was so excited to put this pilot together, and you and I went to go shoot, and we were on the set for Bailey's Billions, which I did the voice of the female dog.
Directed
by David Devine, and John Lovitz did the voice of the male dog, and it was a live action show. So we were invited on set, and Tim Curry and Jennifer Tilly were there. So it was very, very exciting, big stars. And so I said, hey, let's bring the crew down. They're inviting us on set. And it was Flip's first day on the show. I believe it was his first day. And I said, hey, we're going to be shooting, I think it was in Hamilton, and we're going to drive there, and we're going to do this. And he was all game, and his mom and co-op teacher were all game. And
because they all have to sign off on that as he's a kid.
Right.
Yes. Lawyers.
And I just put him on camera, and he had this little scene with Jennifer Tilly. in the background, and he was kind of making some funny comments, and it was part of the pilot, and he was just game. And so what's really exciting is to see just, and he really wanted to be in this business, and now here he is 10 years in, one of the main team members, and he wears a lot of hats. Shooter, actor, one of our main actors.
He has 2 production companies of his own.
Yeah, he does his own productions as well, but he's pretty loyal and dedicated to this show as I am to him.
Yeah, but those other things are more music related.
Music related.
Yeah.
And so what's really exciting is, again, I get goosebumps when I think about that too, is that he was there from the beginning, and I'm so excited to see him grow on this show and now be like one of the senior people on the show when it comes to, and he has great writing and story ideas too, which is amazing.
More and more all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting mature and with his new family and understanding the world more, how it's affecting him, his ideas.
And he knows the comedy of the show,
others.
which, you and I have talked a lot about. When you work on a show, you need to know the show you're working on. And Flip's also one of those guys that just knows the show he's working on now and the kind of comedy, just as you do. So, and that's so important to know what show you're working for.
Right.
And my kind of funny.
Right. You can't change the Bible of a show. You can't move in and make Homer Simpson a genius. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah. He's gonna get offended.
No, you're the head, you're the lead character, and I just compared you to
I'm
Homer Simpson.
not comparing myself to.
No, but either was I. I was just saying that you can't change because you're
right.
we're 10 years. I say
it's like, don't you hate those shows? Don't you hate the shows that when things are going great, they decide to change everything, including like the theme song and the direction? And what happens is like people come to this show because they like certain things about it that are consistent, and how my character gets into these funny weird things, which is either completely truthful or based on truthful stuff, and that's the funny thing, like going to the Cannes Film Festival and me being kicked off because I'm wearing colorful gowns instead of black and white. All true, and those things really happen, so people love to tune into that. So if we change too much of that, then you start to lose your fan base that's been loyal all these years.
Well, you're impromptuing questions, which we're 10 years on the air, and you're allowed to, as I said, change the world or not change the world. So
right.
You're not going to change the world.
No, the show keeps growing. And
it goes like this, more of the same.
Yeah,
but you want more of the same. That's what you want.
I think one thing for me is that when you just watch a show because of the consistency of that humor, right. If it's working and fans like it, we just want to give them more of it. And yes, the show keeps elevating itself, and so does the team, and that's exciting. But at the core of it all, it's just, me fixing my life one celebrity at a time.
That's a great log line.
It's on our car. It's kind of funny.
It is funny. So 10 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where you sit. You sit in an interesting spot in Canada. I don't know. There's a lot of people walking around saying that they've been producing 10 years into the same show. So there are only a couple people that can say the same thing. So what does that come up in conversation, or is that now just going to be?
It just kind of shocked me actually when it's like when was it the network or it first said to me, "Hey, you're entering your 10th year," and I go, "What? My 10th year? What?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's my 10th year." We're just getting into it, and I was like so excited to think. I don't think about it. I just keep doing the show.
Right.
But it's pretty cool.
So at 10 years as a producer, as you're saying, people stimulate in a different way. They actually create a different show, not a thought in our head. So we're giving you the celebrities the way we digest them, POV. And it's our brand, it's our style.
And
it's
what we like is we just like the behind the scenes stuff. We like when things go wrong. And what I love about Adam is that
what she loves about Adam is that might actually be my new ringtone. What I love about Adam is
you added more bass right there.
It's just to my voice. No, just to my voice.
Can you do that again?
No, I'm just talking like this.
What I love about Adam is it 2 a.m.? No.
No, but it feels like
is that something will happen on set, or I'll call you after finishing a red carpet, and I was like, "Guess what happened?" Blah 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 blah, and things just went crazy and weird. And Adam's the first person to say, "I love it. Let's do it." And so you're so creatively open and
so are you
engaging.
No, and so are you.
So that's what makes it really work. That's what I love.
Yeah, so that's good. So now you got two people that are nuts that are willing to do anything at 2 a.m. We're just throwing in. I mean, I should put panties on my head. Yes.
And you're gonna wear like Oprah Day panties.
And I
when
need
interview
you to
her?
fight
Yes.
with a vagabond, and you're going to steal things out of his hands, and you're going to yell at him, "It's for charity!"
That's right.
It's going to be hilarious.
But that was also based on a true story.
Well, I
So
know.
there you
That's
go.
why.
That's why it's crazy.
But you get to wrap up a joke with reality.
That was an episode where it was a charity episode. And remember, you and I were sitting here in my office, and we're trying to figure out how to launch this. And then I told you a true story that happened to me.
Right.
And you said, well, why don't we do that? And I'm like, yeah, because it's funny, but it's real. And so
No, because you need a little nudge, and not a big nudge, but you need a little nudge to say, but that doesn't even make it. It just really just happened. I go, yeah, but it's going to be awesome.
Right.
I mean, that's going to be great.
Because you also see the vision of how we can take some real things and, and truth is stranger than fiction. And that is
Right.
true, folks. That line isn't just made up.
Yeah. You
It's
can't
so
write
true.
the stuff.
No,
Like,
you can't.
You clearly can't do half the stuff we did. And you're like, well, that's what really happened. And you have to kind of explain it away. Like, our writing staff is like, you can't put that on the air. People aren't going to believe that took place, because what's important is it's what's realistic. It's what you feel that could happen, not actually did happen.
But a lot of those things did happen, which is crazy.
Because it did doesn't make it good
right,
TV.
doesn't make it TV. Correct.
That's the problem.
Yes, and
that's
that's
real.
where we filter some of that stuff.
That's real TV, real drama. No, that's what we are, and that's where we went from. The word was dramedy, and I got to tell you, I'm so happy writing dramedy out my yin yang, because there's nobody who tours the countryside who puts a hat on and says, I'm the king of dramedy. And I'm going to knock you down if you think you're going to take away my hat. It's called a crown. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But there isn't a king of dramedy.
Right.
Right. But there is a king of comedy, and there's a lot of people who would take up.
You know what? Tell you what. In a few years, there will be a movie, a video.
King of dramedy?
King of dramedy.
Because of this?
Yeah. How about the queen of dramedy?
I better get a lawyer.
How about that?
Say again?
The queen of dramedy.
Yeah, but that sounds.
Sounds.
No, that sounds like you're going to. A
don't know.
dramedy queen.
Like a drama queen, like a diva.
But be dramedy queen.
Right. There you go.
Right. That's what
I'm
you're
good
trying
with that.
to. That's actually a funny. That's a character. The dramedy queen.
There you go.
I know what's happening, and I know you think what's happening is funny. You know what I mean? You're constantly taking it to that level of, I know I'm overreacting, and I know it's hilarious. That would make me laugh.
Deal with it.
Now we got to be a smoker with our voice leading. Back in 19 bum. That's funny. See, again, that's characterization, and we're just going out
And
of
again,
nowhere.
it's not 2 a.m.
No.
But you know what? We could talk until 2 a.m. the way we are. It's going to be 2 a.m. and no one's going to be listening this far into this.
That's kind of funny. You'd think that's true, but what the promotion is, of course, is that I'm going to put it on iTunes at some point,
right?
So you can just download it and then you can be just listening
to
it.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, I'm using all the analytics and all the matrix of these big companies that are allowing you to use it. The second, like a YouTube or a Facebook, they just allow you to see all your numbers and seeing how it works. They're $100,000 programs that I'm using now for free, and thank you. If I could say thank you now, that would be me saying thank you. And it's allowing me to figure out who my demographic is, what's the best time to be on the air, when to air these things, the length of it, how long
you know
listen
what?
people
The other
listen.
thing I learned from everything you said is that accounts for probably 40% of what really happens. Well, for example, even with our show, there's a lot of analytics and things you do, and you do your best to sort of predict and understand.
Right.
But, a lot of it is instinct and gut, and people have to believe in you, and you have to believe in what you're doing. So
right.
the analytics is one thing.
Right.
But you know what? If the analytics are a little low or a little high, there's a core fan base to things. And that matters sometimes a lot more than having crazy numbers. So,
well, what you just said is true. I mean, I know I can fill a room with me trying to sing songs and try to be funny. Me trying to have conversations with people that I think are interesting. That's what's happening, though. I meet people and I say, I had an interesting conversation with. You should check it out because I think this would be interesting to you. Instead of sitting there for 45 minutes to say, yeah, I had this conversation, and let me explain it to you. I am constantly just dealing with people in our industry, or better, people who aren't in our industry. They're like, well, how is that? I'm like,
why would you do this for a living?
Right. And now I have season 2 that when you sit down and listen to it, if it is something you want to do, there's so many different avenues.
I think part of, again, I keep saying as you know, because I talk to you about stuff all the time. But when we have co-op students come here, or people that want to train and start off in the business.
If you want to be a co-op student, please. www.outtherewithmelissa.com.
That's right.
And in the subject line, intern.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
that one of our jobs or functions, I believe, is to deter people from doing this for a living.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking people to call in.
So, because, when I started in this business, there wasn't a co-op for, I want to be a TV journalist. Oh, I want to be an actor. Oh, I want to be a producer. There was no co-op for that.
But there is now.
There is now.
Yeah.
And even now, a lot of these students have a tough time getting placements or having an opportunity in that placement to really learn. So I think what's great about the Out There team is that we really try to get the students to learn to see if this is what you want to do for a living, because you have to want to do this. There are way better jobs to do where you can make a lot more money.
Okay.
And so you really have to want to do this.
This is great. Almost everybody I interviewed who sit in the hot seat, this is
what they say.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They really don't want anyone to hurt themselves.
If you look, it's
what are you pointing at?
I don't know. I forgot.
Theater of the mind.
There's no visual.
I can't believe there's a dragon in here. Thanks for pointing it out.
There's ninjas from the ceiling.
But you need writers for that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
and ninjas.
So that's right. Which the show can't afford. So.
Yeah, I got 3 boys that I can dress in black and
awesome.
drop from the ceiling.
Done. Next season.
Next season brought to you by insurance.
So here in my office, there's at least a dozen banker boxes, which is the executive producer stuff. And on top of that is pillows and comforters.
Nice.
And this is because
it's your boudoir.
It's my boudoir.
Now, I wanted to have you over live from my bedroom in my bedroom, and my wife said no.
So then I invited you to my bedroom as this was happening.
No, but that's kind of how it all took place. I thought it'd be hilarious to have people like yourself or Gordon Lightfoot or people who I think I can get a conversation with in my bedroom, because isn't that hilarious? And she's like, no, it's a theater of the mind. And I'm like, no, but she knew why I'm doing this. Right. It's because we can start doing voices. I can pretend somebody just came into the room. We can take it somewhere else, which is a whole other idea that I want to do. Well, maybe with you, because this is great creative fun. I like doing this. But today, that's not what this was about. And I hope everyone out there had a good time hearing you. I love how she took... Did you see how she took control of someone else's show? She called my kids. That was awesome. But again, the world that I've been telling everyone about is if you don't ask, you don't get. Back in the day, if everyone was supposed to have a carton of milk, it was on the corner of your desk. Now, if you're supposed to have that carton of milk, you were supposed to ask.
Yes, and you know what? This is what's great about you is that we think the same way in this company. It's like, if you don't ask, you don't get. And that's so true. It's like, if people are afraid to ask, okay, what's the worst that can happen? They're going to say no.
No, that is actually the worst.
Yes.
That is no. And then no is not a no, because no is like, well, how soft is that?
And is that a no now or a no always, right?
Yeah, like, is it because your fiscal year starts in October?
Exactly. No, and I think also... And I think you also have to surround yourself.
We sound like an infomercial, right? I don't know what we're selling.
I don't know, but let's make it good.
I don't know what we're selling, but I'm actually waiting to hear a door open. Are we not waiting for an editor?
An editor? No, there's no editor tonight.
I swear I saw Patrick was booked at 6 to midnight.
No.
Oh, and by the way, that's a shout out to the editor.
Actually, if you're on the way,
you're not booked. Go home.
Go home.
Oh, I thought there was an editor.
No, because we're working on the board, working on the next episode. It's going to be you and I until 2 a.m.
Oh, well then I'm glad we did this without my kids.
What? I'm still disappointed.
No, I love bringing disappointment to
you. I feel better that I spoke to your kids.
That's great. And I'm glad you had that opportunity to bring it forward.
All right, so now, are we wrapping up? Are you wrapping up? We are? Okay, listen, on the way out.
On the way out.
We're going to speed dial your lawyer. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, man. Leave him alone.
Aren't you glad as a friend and a colleague that I'm giving you these notes?
Yes, you're saying friend and colleague, but as I think I tried to introduce you as, was also mentor as an executive producer, someone who says you need a lawyer on the air, those types of things.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I keep apologizing.
Don't apologize.
Do you want veal?
I don't know. I don't. Can you taste the pain? Is that why people eat the veal? It's like you could feel that they didn't touch the floor ever. Delicious. No, anyway. Thank your mother, and I love your mother, and that was awesome of your mother. See, I'm still feeling guilty.
It's awesome.
It's stronger than Jewish guilt because
I
think it must.
There's an Italian, and I'm Catholic. The combination, there's guilt all the time. It's just.
I'm sure the mafia tells us that the Jews and the Italians work well together. I think Vegas will tell you that.
Exactly.
All right, and the house wins. Well, again, thank you for...
Thanks for having me, Adam. This is really fun. I had a great time.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well,
and I'm so proud of you that you're doing this.
See? And I have no aim or goals in my life. That's
Remember,
awesome.
Easter egg.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
We got great prizes.
I can't
Easter
wait.
egg. And this, you know what? We just said it at the end. So then if people stay tuned right until the end, they could be prize winners. Okay, outtherewithmelissa.com, or where else can they email?
So the Pomcast network at outlook.com.
All right. So
but now shouldn't we add to the Easter egg? Because those people thought, I guess I don't have to listen anymore. I can stop listening.
Oh, that's a good point.
Now it's
okay.
Easter egg spelled backwards.
Oh, no.
Like le Easter
how about,
egg.
How about
Make it French.
Easter egg 2 a.m.? Because that's when, we're very creative at 2 a.m. Easter egg 2 a.m. Is that just too weird?
How about close the light?
Oh, yeah. That's what I say all the time. I know. That's Adam making fun of me right now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, Easter egg.
Yeah, close the light.
Close the light.
And this is bonus prizes. See, the people who were before probably might get something, but this is
Do
bonus.
They get a car?
Not here.
Not on this show or my show. Not.
There's no car. Somewhere else, maybe. But not here. All right.
We will redirect you to a show that does give you better prizes than we can ever afford. That's your prize? No.
Wow, that was fantastic. Well, thank you again for your time. Let's start producing a good
All right.
2014,
Thank you so much.
2015.
Yes.
And let's thank you. Tune into Melissa DiMarco's show. It's we're airing sometime in the new year again with City. We're being picked up again for another season, and we're being like Suits, so it's going to be a half on, half off, half on.
Exactly.
All right. So go to her website, and you can see some snippets and also Easter eggs and little tidbits.
Yes.
And she also has a YouTube channel where you can see the updates of how she talks to the celebrities about the movies they're actually in.
I know there is an actual entertainment show.
There is an actual
entertainment.
Yes, and it is entertaining on its own. Always a blooper. All right, a blooper guaranteed.
My life is a blooper.
It is. All right. Thank you very much, Melissa.
Thanks, Adam.